So this is going to be a video for the full moon in Pisces. For some reason I felt called that I needed to do a video. I felt that there was some guidance that needed to be put out. I'm not sure what the guidance will be. But I intend to connect with energy to bring forward these messages. I would just like to extend my gratitude for you joining me and being present with me. There is this energy of being contemplative, if that's the word. Just really thinking about our next direction and where we intend to take this journey, this human experience. So we're going to begin with the Moonology Oracle deck, just to get a feel for what is the main energy of this full moon in Pisces. For some reason I'm hearing respect. And I'm hearing respect your neighbour because there's something to do with the eyes and being able to see them clearly and to see your neighbour for who they are. I'm seeing the sleep be wiped out of people's eyes, almost that it's bringing me to 20/20 vision, that people are going to be able to see clearly now. But for some reason I'm being pulled to the fact that Pisces, when it's something to do with Pisces, it's to do with like your intuition and being able to kind of see clearly and having like clear sight. I'm hearing that this is a time to be guided by your knowings. And to become interested in who you are. What do you wish to grow? What do you wish to manifest? And is it true? So we have the end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. I'm feeling that it feels more to do with just the masses of the public, I want to say. That there's this question of, is it really true? And when it's referring to is it really true, it's more questioning if the things that are being pushed all over the media, all over Facebook about these celebrities and just about just the word that has been covered up, if it's true or not. And it seems that people are going to be able to fully see and realize that whilst we want to simply focus on love, in simply just focusing on love and acting as if there isn't darkness in this world, it enables darkness to still act without being condemned or without being made accountable for itself. There's this element that we need to kind of acknowledge that there is darkness in the world so that darkness can be made accountable for its actions. The same way that the light and beings of light are accountable for their actions.
Oh my God.
Conclusions are within reach. Okay, so with pulling both of these cards, the end of a tough cycle and conclusions are in reach, full moon in eclipse, I'm definitely getting this kind of uncovering of something, but again it's bringing me back to truth and what is true and what isn't true. And again with the eclipse part of this, the full moon in eclipse, it's kind of again that uncovering, that light being, what I'm being shown is when the kind of, I'm being shown when the moon is visible again. And the light's pushing through. It's almost that the darkness is kind of being pushed aside, but not pushed aside, it's being, I want to say it's being illuminated. It's like the light's pushing through it, but in the light pushing through it, we can see the darkness for what it is, if that makes sense. It's almost like having a silhouette of somebody, and without the light, we wouldn't be able to see the silhouette, the shadow of the person, if that makes sense. This ending of a cycle, it's an ending of a system of some kind. I'm hearing change as we know it. And it feels that some people are not going to be able to believe the kind of changes that are going to happen. Eight of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. So I'm being brought to the, again, not again, sorry, I did another video where I spoke about the educational system, but it feels that, again, there's this examination of the things that we are going to teach the generations to come. And it's something to do with harmony. It's something to do with male and female. For some reason, I'm feeling almost that feminine energy is taking more of a front seat and masculine energy is taking a back seat. And it's almost that the masculine is saying to the feminine, I trust you, or I have trust in you, or lead me in the right direction, or I know you will lead me in the right direction. It feels that this is a time when we need to have a lot more trust in the women of this world. it's almost that we need to see the woman for its divinity. Because it feels that until we can kind of honor the feminine energy, the female, it's almost like there's a discord, that something's out of balance. And it's almost that until the feminine perspective is brought into this construct as a whole, everything's going to be very rigid and very tough and very I just feel like there's a blockage. It's hard to navigate. I'm seeing roads and there's dints and ditches and just lots of things in the road, and I'm being brought to the fact that because masculine energy is to rush, is to be hasty, is to make kind of split decisions, whereas the feminine energy is more contemplative, more thought out. Therefore, the feminine energy understands that, okay, the roads may need fixing immediately. However, if we take a bit longer, we can develop something that is more long-lasting. Whereas the masculine energy would want to fix it instantly, so we can keep things moving, so we can keep in pace. But in that kind of rushed approach is a lack of thought, and with that lack of thought causes kind of blockages and causes things to not run as smooth. It seems that there is now kind of this coming in of an acceptance of the feminine energy and its divine role that it plays in this construct that we live in. It's almost like I can see, it feels like a big meeting with important, powerful people, and it's full of men, and it's almost like they sat there and they finally came to the realization that we have to bring in the women, we have to allow them a chance. It's almost like they sat with a cup of tea and they're just like, yeah, it's time. Like, we can't do it without them, kind of. I'm hearing light workers ascend, and I'm seeing like a whole group of light workers holding hands in a circle, and it's almost that within the center of the circle is a collection of their energy, and it's kind of, I can see like a beam being shot up into the sky, emitting this huge frequency. It's almost that they are sending a transmission or sending off light codes, or saying that, okay, I'm hearing that the light workers are sending a message back to the cosmos saying that they're ready, we are ready, these beings on earth is ready, it's time. For some reason I'm seeing like spaceships, and it feels like a rushing in of something. It's like as soon as that message is received, it's like lots of people are coming, or lots of energies or beings from other places. It feels like everybody's rushing to earth for something, for some reason, to see something, to witness something, to see like a big shift or a big change or something. Okay, so I'm hearing that I'm hearing the birth of a new age. I'm hearing the birth of a new age. And a return of kind of Christ consciousness. And it feels that there will be many, many people who will resemble or embody this Christ consciousness. But it does feel like it's still going to be confusing to some, because they are not going to understand how, like, a human being can embody such energy or express in such a way. And it's going to be as if when people of today interact with these beings or these people who are embodying kind of Christ consciousness, they are not going to know how to act around them. It's almost that they are going to view these people as kind of being time travelers. Something to do with it's going to feel, okay, it's just a very ancient, wise energy that people are going to feel from these people. Tower. And it's okay, so I'm basically being shown it's not a tower in a bad way, but interaction with these people who express such a vibration, it kind of causes immediate tower memories. It causes you to immediately look at yourself and kind of question, why am I not that way, or how is it that they can be such a way and I'm not? And it's not saying that you're judging yourself, it's just a realization that kind of consciousness is a real thing and it's being expressed through these people. Yes, causing you to look at yourself. They are a physical reflection. With the Ace of Cups, this is kind of emotional fulfillment, but it could also be emotional dissatisfaction, realizing that not that these people are special, it's just that they are very much within their signature energy. And their signature energy is completely unique to themselves, but what they have in common is that they are all within their signature energy, which makes them and enables them to be within a Christ consciousness state and a Christ consciousness kind of vibration. I'm seeing that this is a time when many are going to kind of become dissatisfied with their life, dissatisfied with what they have accomplished, dissatisfied with the path that they are kind of running towards. And it's because of change, it's because the systems and the way that we live is going to change so much that your thoughts and your dreams and your aspirations were only thoughts, dreams and aspirations for that system, for that construct. And once you see the construct kind of change, it kind of throws all your thoughts, wishes, kind of hopes, dreams out the window, because you limited them to a singular kind of experience, to the matrix. You didn't put your thoughts, dreams and aspirations, you didn't place them outside of the matrix. So it's important that when we are thinking, to be thinking outside of the box. That's what being shown, is to think outside of the box, to be unique, to try and manifest things that are universal. Don't limit your ideas to work in just this construct, in this reality. I'm seeing things that can be invented and created here, they can literally be brought into other dimensions, into other realities. So don't limit them to just this construct, because the vibration, the thought vibration that you put into it kind of gives the item the ability or the elements to be able to vibrate on a frequency that can be accessed in other dimensions, is what I'm getting. So we have the Moon card, and that before that just came out, I was hearing that time is just a thing. Just like everything is just a thing. And I feel like I need to say something on reality, and it's that we only say reality when we are referring to kind of the system that we are living by. As soon as you talk about kind of expressing yourself outside of the system or the construct that we've built, it's not reality. It's a fantasy, or it's an altered state of thinking. But every reality is a reality. It's still something physical, even when it comes to something to do with on a spiritual level, on kind of different dimensions and spiritual realities. They are still realities, and we see them as not being physical, but that's because we perceive things that being physical as being something that you can physically touch. But it's still a reality, because if the kind of the entirety of your energy was in the afterlife, that is still a physical reality for that energy, for yourself in the afterlife, if that makes sense. It's just kind of like a reminder that all is real, and it's bringing me to all the sides of the truth, that everything is true and everything is false. It's about what you know to be true, and what have you found to be true in your current experience. And if you can access other lifetimes that you've lived, what do you know to be true about them, and how do those knowings relate to this version of yourself? Okay, so I'm just going to pull one or two cards from the Crystal Therapy deck. Ruby, survival. Survival of the fittest is what I'm hearing, but I'm seeing kind of ants go through like an ant maze, and it's almost who is going to be determined to keep going, to keep trying to find the exit. But it's not just that I'm hearing, it's almost like it's who's willing to keep going towards the exit, but who's also willing to be pushed by other people. It's kind of this energy of people, it's kind of a time when people are going to support certain people. Not everybody is going to kind of get the support from people, but there's these certain kinds of people. For some reason I feel like I have to say certain kinds of people that are going to be supported, and it's about if you're going to allow yourself to be supported, or whether you are going to kind of struggle on your own. Okay, I'm seeing that as a whole, humanity knows who can lead us in a positive direction and who can help us. And it doesn't have to be somebody that's famous or a celebrity. It can literally just be a random person on the street. And I'm being shown Greta Thunberg. This is how people end up becoming big kind of celebrities when it comes to kind of humanitarian issues, is because we know who can lead us, and we know who is using their voice for the right things and who is saying the correct thing, and there's just this knowing. And that's how people end up being placed in positions of power, and not just in terms of simply just doing everything for the good. Some people are in power that do bad things because they are here to also awaken, to also let us see that there is darkness in this world, that there is light in this world. And yes, we all have divine choice. Unblock. It's time to kind of examine who is in your life for the right reasons and the wrong reasons, really. And it's about keeping your circle tight. Be gentle with yourself. It's about keeping your circle tight and putting yourself first. Because at this time, it feels that everybody has been giving out to other people in the hopes of receiving. And really, what we need to be doing is giving to ourselves, because in the giving to yourself, you are receiving, and there isn't a need to go out to others, if that makes sense. This full moon in Pisces is kind of removing that block of needing to be filled by somebody else. And it's bringing me back to the, are you willing to allow other people to support you, to push you? It's reversing that and saying to me, what needs to be said is, yes, they can help you and support you, but are you helping and supporting yourself? Are you pushing yourself? Yes, you can not give up and keep going to the end, but just keeping going and actually pushing yourself. There's a difference in just kind of making it and surviving, and actually pushing yourself and succeeding and kind of winning the battle instead of just surviving the battle. It's this energy of giving to yourself, loving to yourself, and stop giving out to other people. See yourself with 20/20 vision and realize your power, realize your beauty and who you are. I'm just gonna end by hopefully burning some sage. I send you my gratitude again for being with me. I hope you really take this time to love yourself, to get to know yourself, to enjoy yourself. And for some reason, the last thing I feel like is coming through is to learn new things. And maybe it's a new hobby or something, but it definitely feels that we should be learning new things, expanding ourselves, trying out new things, and just continuing to live in our greatness. But I thank you for being with me. I send you peace. I send you love. Ashe.